Um, this is day 4. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, day 3 with Burley. And I have been just trying to approach him like a normal horse and walk in and not have him shy away or dart away, depending on the day. And I've been coming in about 10 times every day and keeping it to like 10 minutes each time and just working on making that first approach super positive. So I will show you where he's at. What he does is, so every Mustang has what they call an entry point, and that's the point where they're okay being touched first. And his seems to be his withers shoulder area. Some horses it's their forehead, not their nose. Some horses it's their nose. Some horses it's, you know, the tip of their tail. It just depends on the horse. And that's typically the spot they present to you first. So with a normal horse, just your average horse, you walk in and you halter him, and the first thing you go for is the head. Well, he's already saying, hey, I'm not okay with you touching my head, and he presents his shoulder. He says, but you can touch me here. So what we're working on is saying, like, great, thank you for letting me touch your shoulder, and I'm going to wait here until you try and let me touch your head. So I walk over and I rub him on the withers with my lunge whip as an extension of my arm, and then I raise my hand and wait for him to engage me, because he's very disengaged. He's just shuts you out as soon as you get anywhere near him. He just goes and looks away. So you know, he just doesn't understand that it's okay yet for him to present his head and be quiet about it. So that's where we're starting. And until that's gone, it's basically where we're going to be, because I need to be able to just walk in and halter him before we go to, you know, step 2. So hopefully you can see him with that camera angle, and I'll just show you what that looks like. Oh, so I'm going to approach him at a normal pace. I'm not going to sneak around him. And if he moves, and I'll track with him until he stands still, and then I'll try again. Good boy. So that was a really good example of what I meant, in a sense that, so now he's getting a lot better at this, of actually wanting to be part of the conversation. He normally doesn't linger very long. He kind of gets bored and walks away. But okay, so that time when I went in to approach him, he actually presented that shoulder. So he took half a step to me like that, even though his head was over here. He basically said, okay, right here, you can touch me. I'm not sure if you saw that, but reached up to pet his head, and he went over here, and I waited until he came back to here, and then I just walked away. And then he said, oh, like, all right. So we just are doing this over and over and over. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So that time he touched me, so I left. Good boy. I want it to be his decision, not mine, to work, so to speak, to be involved in this conversation. So it's just repetitive, just rewarding what I'm looking for, and I just want him to engage me. It's all I want him to do. So I'm rewarding that. So pretty soon he's going to start off by engaging me and saying, cool, what are we doing? Like, yes. Okay, what's next? Good boy. Good boy. Some people say, oh, well, he's looking at something. No, he's not. So I guarantee if I walk to this side, the same thing happens. So any shift of his eye, any like shift of his ear, his head, I'm rewarding. And probably so subtle that I don't know if you can see it, but so if he leaves, I'm going to add pressure until he turns and faces again. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. What a good boy. Good boy. Now, I'm pretending there's not a halter on him. It would be easy for me to just clip a lead rope on him and kind of force his hand, so to speak. But, you know, it's not gonna get me anywhere. I need to fix it and have it be his idea. And then we'll, good boy, clip on the lead rope. What a good boy. Can you see that from this camera angle, that shoulder right here is presented first? It's literally the closest thing to me when I walk up there. So, and he makes sure of it by taking his head away, that he's okay with that being where he's pet. So if I go in with my hand, I could probably catch him and halter him just fine if I start here and work my way forward. Good boy. Oh, good boy. So that time he didn't move his head away at all. I didn't go for his head, but he was more comfortable leaving it, you know, straight on while I came into his bubble. So he actually just shifted his weight and he's pushing into my hand right now. And I think he likes what I'm doing. And I think he's saying, okay, right here is good. Good boy. Good. So right there, he just let go of his tail. He's not swishing at anything, but it was kind of like taking a deep breath, but with his tail. Good boy. So he just looked at me and I just dropped my eyes even further to let him know, like, I acknowledge the fact that he looked at me. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. What a good boy. He wants my hand right here. So I think there's some pain, or see that guarding? I think there's some pain or something in this shoulder that he wants me to address. Kind of like getting your shoulders rubbed. Like there's certain spots where it feels really good if you're tense. And I think that that's what he's saying is like, oh man, right here is good. Good boy. Good boy. I'm pushing decently hard too with the palm of my hand. I'm just kind of like going like this with my hand. Just kind of waiting until he licks and chews or drops his head. My arm is like killing me right now, and I don't know him well enough to know if that's his pain I'm picking up on or what, but yeah, my arm is really achy. Good boy. So if I move back here again, let's see if he moves. Good boy. Man. Good boy. kind of want to take this halter off. So I know he moved his head away, and he's basically saying, this isn't what we were doing. Good boy. See him puff out his nose? That was so funny. Good boy. He's basically just telling me I came. He's not in his comfort zone anymore. Good boy. Good boy. So I think I'm going to wait to take that off until he's kind of more dipped in toward me. But that's what we're working on. And my goal is just to keep going with that until he's totally part of that conversation. And then we'll move forward. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. He just did something, and I'm sad I didn't have that video rolling, but I went to just pet him and leave, and he let me pet him on the face, and now he's having these major releases of some anxiety and some tension, and yeah, so I think he's processing all of this. And I really want to take that halter off. So I think I'm going to try. Good boy. Good boy. He is letting go of a lot of anxiety right now. So that is awesome. And he's actually just letting me reach up and pet his face. I literally had the camera off for less than a minute. And all of a sudden it like clicked, and he was like, oh, this is all we're doing. Good boy. And like, he has so much tension he's holding. Good boy. I think that's awesome. Let's see if he'll let me in. I'm literally barely rubbing the side of his face, and all these nerves are right here. And see his eyeball like close. He actually loves that. Good boy. Let's see if he'll yawn again. Good boy. See his eyes? I am barely touching his face. But not only is he letting me, but he likes it. Good boy. The first time he's let me just pet his face. Look at that expression. That's so cute. What a good boy. He says, where'd you go? Come back. That felt so good. What a good boy. Good boy. boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So he's leaning on my fingertips, which means he's pulling his head a little bit to the right. Good boy. And I just was pausing my hands and waiting for him to kind of like come off of him, and it's so slight. But I'm just kind of asking him if he'll let me in, and he's letting me, which is awesome. Because up until this point, he hasn't let me anywhere near his face. I could stroke the tip of his nose, but I could not do this. He would have been gone. Now he sees something, so I'm just waiting. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So I was just asking him to come off of my fingertips because he was pulling his head away. Good boy. He wasn't trying very hard, but. Oh, good boy. Oh, good boy. You can't bite me, though. Good boy. Good boy. What a good boy, Burley. It's almost like he doesn't know what to do with his mouth, so he's just like basically saying, "Oh, is this okay?" Good boy. What a good boy. Oh, this is so cool. That's the first time that's happened, or he's just let me reach up and just pet his face. Good boy. Good boy. What a good boy. Good boy. So I think I'm going to quit there for now and start again later or tomorrow. And I'm super happy with that, how he just all of a sudden started engaging me. So anyway, cool. Let me know if you have any questions.